the origin of the story is pretty funny. Over the last 7 or 8 years, 6 or 7 years, I started getting invited to go down to Nashville and do some songwriting.
Oh, great.
You're a Nashville girl, all right.
I love it.
Yeah, it's exciting down there. There's so much talent. There's so much talent down there, and there are, and that's the place where all the songwriters who are not road dogs like me, right, will go, and they have some very, and you can have a career. It's very different than mine, right, where you get paid to, and stop.
It's a whole new phrase.
Thank you, good night. You get paid to write songs. You get paid by a publishing company. And every week you submit songs you've written. And publishing houses have people, their jobs are called pluggers. And their job is to take the songs that were written by their artists that they represent and plug them to the country stars that are out there. Right, just like a record deal, artists get kind of an advance from the publishing company. They're on a salary, but and when their songs get placed, if their songs get placed, right, however much money that song brings in, kind of pays their salary. But if they get number one, then they make some really, really good money for a little bit, and they have to do it all again.
Jelly Rolls from Nashville.
Mhm.
This is when he came out with the song "I'm Not Okay"
Yeah,
to help people really understand mental health,
yeah,
anxiety, and
that's a good
depression.
song. Yeah,
So Jelly Roll's like an amazing artist. He's been inspiration for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
right on. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah, and if he spent a lot of time in Nashville,
Yes.
he knows a lot about people struggling with mental health. Let me tell you, it's a tough scene to be in. It's like feast or famine. It's do or die. But they have these songwriting festivals where they take a whole bunch of songwriters and they bring them to some nice part of the country. And they're festivals that are not like normal festivals. The festivals don't feature any stars. They're the songwriters that write the songs for the stars. And it's really interesting. First time I got invited to do one of these festivals, it was down in Key West, Florida.
Nice.
Any of y'all been to Key West? Pretty wild place, but it's not like a festival like the picture. They literally for a week, this festival takes over every single restaurant and bar in Key West. And at any time, over the course of the week, you can like kind of walk into any bar and there'll be a couple different, they play shows in the round where artists are sitting next to each other. A lot of you have seen this before, it's been the light of day. And they trade songs that they've written one at a time, right? They share their songs. But you go into any bar at any time of the day and there's, you'll be sitting there and you see some kind of schlubby looking dude sitting on a stool with like mustard stains down his t-shirt and they really not looking like he is a performer in any way. And then he'll play this song and I'll be like, whoa. That's a really good song. And someone will like nudge you and be like, yeah, that's Kenny Chesney's 2016. That's the guy that wrote it up there. And so it was a pretty surreal experience for me. It was about 150 writers from Nashville and a guy from Boston. Token Bostonian. I don't know why they invited me down there, but I was honored to be a part of it. One of the things they do is they put artists together. You have a roommate for the week when you're there at the Songwriter Festival. And they put me in a room with a guy named Clint Daniels. And Clint Daniels comes from Panama City, Florida, but he's been living and writing in Nashville for about 30 years, something like that. And he's written #1 songs for like Tim McGraw and Eric Church and George Strait. Some of the big country artists, Clint he's old school country, right? And he's like cowboy hat wearing country. He's like Hank Williams, Merle Haggard, country. He is like red state, redneck fucking country. And of course they put him together with like barefoot Yankee hippie Jew. And that relationship was gonna go one of two ways. And luckily for me, we ended up becoming like besties that week, man. We were inseparable. I loved his music, he loved my music. We would go and watch each other's sets. When we weren't watching each other's sets, we would watch other artists' sets together, and we talk about music, and we talk about life and the different roads and the different paths we've taken. Now, Key West is a crazy place. By my recollection, basically, you can walk down. Some of you have been here, so you can corroborate. In my opinion, you can walk down any road in Key West and randomly open any door, and on the other side of that door, there will be a rum bar. And behind the bar, in this rum bar, there will be stacks and stacks, shelves of rum. You wouldn't believe how many kinds of rum there actually are in the world. And behind the bar will be some 50 or 60-year-old person that washed up on shore 40 years ago and never left and has the power to create the most dangerous concoctions known to man. Here's the craziest thing though, you can then take your drink and you can walk right out the door and down the fucking street. You can't do that in Boston, let me tell you. So that was basically it. Anytime I would see or interact with any of the artists, they had some kind of a very dangerous and delicious tropical beverage in their hand. And of course, I was not. I was a little more boring. I always had my glass of Irish whiskey that I just went with what I knew. But Clint and I, over the course of the week, we had this kind of running gag. We would have these moments together that only good friends have. Moments where somebody says something and we're laughing so hard that we start crying, right? A moment where we are listening to another artist and she sings a line that just strikes, just gets you. You know, when you hear a song and there's just a line that's like, oh my God, yes. We'd inevitably have one of those moments, and I'd look over to Clint and I'd be like, hey, dude. Don't you think it's time to switch to whiskey about now? And he'd tell me to fuck off. We'd go off to the next thing, and that was how it went over the course of the week. Now, fast forward to the very last night of the festival. We're in a bar called the Smokin' Tuna. It is 1 a.m. The place probably has a legal capacity of 150. There might have been 300 people in the Smokin' Tuna. It was the last set of the night, and we were squeezed up against the back wall of the Smokin' Tuna watching our favorite songwriter from the week, a guy named Win Varble. Is that not the best name for a songwriter you've ever heard in your life? Win Varble was singing a song, and the song is called I Don't Mind Waiting on a Woman. Now, we don't have a lot of country listeners in this room, I know. Oh, except for you, I know.
I love all music.
All right. Oh, do you know this song?
I do not know the
Okay,
song,
so I Don't Mind Waiting on a Woman, I now know is a #1 hit country song performed by Brad Paisley.
Oh, I love Brad Paisley.
I'm so surprised. And now, this experience was so deep and ingrained in me, right? It was so powerful that I have yet to ever listen to Brad's version of this song because I'm still back at the Smokin' Tuna, okay? And Win was singing this song, and it was called I Don't Mind Waiting on a Woman. And basically, the song starts off, he's chasing after this girl. She's rebuffing his advances. And the verse comes around to the chorus and says, that's all right, because I don't mind waiting on a woman.
Yeah.
And then move on to the second verse. He's won her heart. They're now married. They live together. They have something to do that night. He's down by the front door. She's getting ready upstairs. And they're late. And it wraps up by saying, yeah, it's okay, because I don't mind waiting on a woman. Now the third verse is the part that got me. basically, I'm gonna paraphrase, but it was like, if I go first, that's okay. You take your time. I'll be on the other side, and I don't mind waiting. I can't even say it without getting goosebumps. Now, granted, at this point in the night, I had been drinking for 13 hours straight, but I'm gonna tell you this. It's the back of the Smoking Tuna, 1 a.m., packed bar. I fucking lose it. I just lose it. I start crying. I'm like heaving crying in the back of the Smoking Tuna listening to this song, and I look over at Clint, who's next to me, and he's leaning on the back wall with his hands across his chest like this, and his fucking sunglasses on and his cowboy hat on like this, like nothing's going on. And I punch him in the ribs, and I say, do you have no soul? Are you not listening to what just happened on that stage? And he leans over to me, and he pulls down his glasses, and he's fucking bawling, right, just bawling. And I lean back to him, and I say, man, don't you think it's time to switch to whiskey about now? And he says, brother, that's the first song we're gonna write together. And 2 weeks later, I flew to Nashville, and he and I wrote this song. And to this day, it's our most streamed song that we've ever released. It's called Switch to Nashville.
All right.